my channel. This is my first video, obviously. This is my intro video. This is actually my second time doing this. I did this the first time and I gave way too much information out. Like we're gonna go like deep dive into that information and everything and everything that has happened to me. But editing that video was a little bit of a bitch because it was 40 minutes long. And as I'm editing, I'm like, all right, this is like not what I want my first video to be. I would need my video to be incredibly simple, not all over the place, but you know, it's my first video, so it was good. It was a good learning experience. So just looking back at myself and stuff and seeing what I wanted to do. And also in my first video, I was like super glammed up, a bunch of makeup, and I'm watching it and I'm like, you know, like this isn't like me. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to put on makeup and all that shit, but it's not what I want to show you guys, because I literally sat there and I told you like almost like, I told the camera like my entire like life story. And meanwhile I have, like, I'm being truthful about everything, and meanwhile I have all this makeup on and I just feel like I'm hiding my face, and it's like, I need to be just like super real. So, this is what my channel is going to be based off of. My awakenings experience, all my experiences that I've been through. And I'm going to try to make this as condensed as possible and as simple as possible and not so... So, that's me ranting. So anyways, 3 years ago, I started my awakening. How this started was... it was basically through hypnosis technique, but before we get to that, the reason why it led me to that was because I tripped on acid. Yeah, we're gonna go there. So basically I tripped on acid. I had this feeling on acid, like this is how it's supposed to be. Like I felt like my true self. I didn't feel any kind of insecurity. I felt like a child again, basically. And I felt like the weight of the world just coming off of me. And there was times where I felt like I was also like detoxing during the acid trip, where I was like crying and this was like, this wasn't my, like, just by myself, by the way. This was like with a couple of friends of mine. So yeah, so basically that happened, and I will go into another video about that, full disclosure of my acid trip, and because it was a wild one. Very esoteric and alien-esque and mind-blowing, honestly. So after that, that's when I realized, you know, coming from like a Christian background and following God for so long, I realized that there was more to life than what I was told in my religion. There was more to life than what I've been seeing on TV, what I've been, just basically what I've been raised to believe my entire life. And I realized that there was more to life than that. So then I started diving deep, and through word of mouth, through my friend, he told me about this guy, and he's a spiritual reader, a spiritual advisor, and he practices quantum healing hypnosis technique. In other words, QHHT. And there are several different techniques to do this, and his name is Matt. I booked an appointment with him. He came over to my house, and I'll make sure to also link his website below if you guys are interested in this, because this is really what got the ball rolling on my awakening and to become a better person and a light worker, and just basically just part of the collective consciousness that's trying to save the world, basically. So he came over and he put me under a state of hypnosis. And I'll also go deep into that one because that was also mind-blowing. Basically, he puts you under hypnosis and you're still aware. It's not like what you see on the movies or on TV or like the media, where it's like, I'm under hypnosis and I'm going to start levitating and blah, 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 and I'm going to start getting, you know, weird convulsions and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what's going on. And if I wanted to stop at any point, I would have been like, okay, no, we're done. I don't want to do this anymore. So, but this is something I wanted to do, so I wanted to go through with it. Basically, he puts your body into a state of hypnosis, And then he starts talking to me. And then he says, he basically says, like, okay, I'm going to ask for your higher mind to come through. I'm probably going to say this a lot, but we'll dive deep into that in another video. There's so much here that I want that it's just too much to cover. So you're probably going to hear me say that a lot. That we'll go into that into another video. But so basically, he put me under hypnosis, and my higher mind came through. Higher mind is another word for, I guess, soul. You're like your true self, and which is like basically the closest thing to God, basically. And basically he was like, okay, I'm gonna allow your higher mind to come through. And he said, hey, are you there? And I started talking, and I started saying all these things that I did not know anything about. Like, I mean, like, I never even thought these thoughts. I never, like, I was just basically saying, like, oh, yeah. And it was almost like, of course, like, my higher mind and me, like, we're one person, but it was like my consciousness came in, and I was basically giving Allie, or Aletra, people call me Allie, for those that don't know, but I was basically giving myself advice, and I was basically saying, like, she needs to do this, and the reason why she does this stupid shit is because of this. And it was just very blunt. My higher mind was very blunt, but very loving at the same time, and very, like, straight to the point, but also very esoteric in a way. Like, she was saying things like she planned this out, like, she doesn't need to be a victim of anything that has happened to her in her life. She knew what she was getting herself into when she visited planet Earth, and this is what she has to go through so that she can help raise the vibration of Earth, and to help, Mother Earth, and to help Gaia, and to help the collective consciousness of the entire universe, but starting with Earth. So yeah, if that's too much for you, I totally get it. It was too much for me when I first was speaking it. So that happened. And ever since then, that was 3 years ago, ever since then, I have just been on this roller coaster of ups and downs, and just trying to find my true self, trying to find my spirituality self. And just to give you like a little background information, I came from a really, I was very angry as a child. I was always, I was just always angry. I was bulimic for a long time, like years. I was always insecure, like massively insecure. Like, we'll go into those deep conversations later in another video. But I was just not living my best life at all. And I was very depressed for years. And I know a lot of people go through that, but this is the reason for me starting this YouTube channel, is to show proof that you can get out of that. And this is my way of trying to help those get out of those situations. And for some reason, ever since I woke up, I tend to attract a lot of people that need help. And my friends, or even random strangers, or people that find me on my social media, they message me and they're like, hey, like, how do you do this? Or how do you meditate? Or why do you even meditate? Like, what does it do? Like, help me. Like, I have anxiety problems. I have depression problems. I'm always stuck in my head. I'm always stuck in my head. And I don't know. I just always, for some reason, I always attract these type of people. And it's almost like the universe is telling me, this is what you got to do. This is what you need to be doing. And now that I am a mom, my daughter is currently 8 months old. Now that I'm a mom, I have more of a busy schedule. So I can't just go out and meet random people and meet random strangers and like tell them about spirituality. And that's not even what I'm here for either. Like, I went through that phase in my life of being really religious and trying to push people into like the Bible and God and Jesus, and we'll dive deep into that too. But I just let the universe kind of tell me what to do, and I've gotten to the point where I've become so clear-headed that I can fully hear my higher mind now. And sometimes my higher mind will tell me to do things and I'm like, I don't know about that, because my ego is like, it's not the norm for my ego. So my ego is like, no, let's not do it. But when I actually decide to take my higher mind's advice, it ends up being like the best thing for me. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God I listened. And then when I don't, I'm like, fuck, I fucked myself into this. So when I don't, I'm like, damn it. Like I knew I should have freaking listened to my higher mind. So anyway, so my whole point is, I think the universe has been telling me for a while, like, you need to start a YouTube channel. Like, start something that you can actually get your word out, because, I never thought my story of my life was that fascinating, but the first video I did, my intro video that I didn't post, watching it, I'm like, holy crap, like, my life story is freaking insane, like, crazy and ridiculous, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it, because it's a wild ride, that's for sure. It's insane. And I really don't care what people think about me. I don't care what they think about my story. If I'm too open, I really don't care. I know what I'm doing is helping people through my story. And the reason why I also wanted to do this, the way my channel is going to be set up, I can't say exactly what's going to happen in the future, because the future isn't written in stone. And I just know that right now, the idea of my channel is to basically share my life experiences. When I love certain, like, some of the spiritual gurus that I listen to on YouTube and stuff, but sometimes they tend to like just give advice, but they don't tell me, like, what they went through to how do you even know that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, did you go through that? And then sometimes we get downloads from the universe, and I'll explain what that means. But sometimes we get downloads from the universe and we just know the right answer. And I just think that it's better for you guys to hear my experience instead of me just throwing this advice to you and all this stuff, because if I just tell you advice, you're gonna look at me like, well, what does this girl know? She never been through anything, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna start just doing that, and that's basically how my YouTube is gonna be set up. So yeah, ever since 3 years ago, that hypnosis technique, I've just been on a roller coaster of trying to find the true me, and I can say that I am just not the person I used to be. A lot of my coworkers have seen me changed. Like back when I was like a server, I was a server in a couple restaurants, but I was not a pleasant person to be around. I was angry. I was always like, do your fucking job. And like, instead of just being cool with everything, I just let people get the best of me. I let my own self get the best of me. So I am totally a changed person, and I'm not perfect at all, but I know I've come a long way in 3 years, and it's like since I've waken up, and especially like the person that I used to be, like, growing up. So that's basically what my channel is going to be about, and I just thank you guys for coming to my channel, and I know this is basically just my friends watching right now, but I appreciate your support so much, guys. I really do. If you do me a favor and just ring that bell so you get notifications every time I post a video, that way you can see every video. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, liking, comments. I want to hear about, do you know what the term awake means? Like, have you been through an awakening experience? Just comment anything for your support, guys. We're all in this together, and we all need to support each other. And I appreciate you guys so much. And this is like way simpler than my first video. Like, I made it to I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And my first video was like 40 minutes. So, but yeah, so thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. And I hope you guys have a good day. Namaste.